What's going on, YouTube? Team Fitted, anyone who's joining in tonight. What's going on, guys? Welcome into the locker room. Going ahead and doing a Tuesday show with JB. So elegantly bowing out last week. Congrats to 27 straight weeks of shows, 27 straight weeks of hats. Keep doing your thing, JB. We'll miss you around here. Come back anytime. Looks like we got one person in here. Not sure who that is. Yeah, sorry for being backwards tonight, guys. As some of y'all know, I just moved, so I'm still trying to get everything set up. Just threw a quick little setup behind me here. As you can see, these are what I normally store my hats in. They're the, what are they? 40 quart? Something like that. Yeah, 41 quart containers. They hold about 40 each, so that's it. It's always a good thing. I've got the bearer crates down here for the jerseys. But I'm going to kind of do a little bit, who's that there? Gorlab, what's going on, man? First of all, fitted of the day is the old black and Vegas gold penguins. With the, like I said, it's got that Vegas gold. I do have the custom embroidery on this one with the gold. What's going on, Tad? Got that old Vegas gold stitching and NHL logo there. This one has, as you can see, been through the ringer. It needs a good wash. Need to catch a good old Swartzy show to fix that one. And the jersey of the day, as you can tell, 2009 Stanley Cup champions. Well, this is just from the final, but it is from your Stanley Cup champions of 2009. Pittsburgh Penguins, as you can see, the assistant captain patch, Evgeny Malkin. I'm going to go ahead and start things off here with my newest pickups. First two are of the MLB variety. Normally wouldn't grab these, but, well, I don't want to say normally wouldn't. Just haven't really found any that fit me normal in these. But they're the low profile, especially low profile Diamond Era. I kind of like them. Fit a lot like the Stretch Fit. First one picked up from Ross was the gray and blue Road Yankees batting practice here. Of course, that was from the last time they did the Diamond Era. Got the regular white, navy, and gray. It was weird when they changed it up to the gray underbill, but I did like that. Of course, the gray sweatband and the printed tags as well. Again, this one is low profile. Got this one at a Ross, $10. Can't beat those deals. Got that blue flag on the side, of course. Makes it not so much look like a on-field, but it is what it is. Next one was actually picked up at a Burlington. This is kind of one of the biggest teams around this area is the Rangers. So I only had a few different Rangers ones. They only had the one in my size. And anything with the state shape, kind of like JB said a couple weeks ago, anything with the state shape is a perfect hat. Usually the minor leagues reserve that for themselves. But, yeah, I'll get to that here in a little bit. Not sure who that is, Gorlab. But yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit about the NHL and fitteds and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, the state shape on this one, of course, my home state. Anything with the state of Texas on it, I'm pretty much going to grab. It does have the white New Era flag, which is kind of different. I wish they would have done it with red, especially if it would have matched that red squatchy there. Of course, the red, white, and blue. Again, the gray underbill, gray, and the screen printed tags. My next one, of course, as some of you guys know, whether you're from Team Fitted or if you've seen me here on YouTube, my grail for the longest time was an Oilers hat. And I finally found one on eBay a while back. But the good folks over at Hat Club decided they wanted to make me happy as well. Ted, go away. Just kidding. Stay here. Watch the rest of the show. But we'll talk about that one later. Of course, it's the Houston Oilers. Like I said, Hat Club went ahead and made me happy with this one. Of course, it does still have that Hat Club exclusive on it. Has the era-appropriate NFL logo with the multi-star bell lettering, and it also does have what would have been era-appropriate green underbill. Of course, just regular NFL tagging. But of course, they had to step it up one more and make this one in the good old US of A, even if it is with imported materials. Of course, these have been hard to find, whether they're Hat Club lids, whoever. Did find today a couple new ones. Unfortunately, it looks like one of them's in New Era Europe, so I'm gonna have to find a connect for that one. As it's just a different colorway that you don't really see, and it does look like New Era and maybe even Fanatics have one with the old, just the what would be the inside piece of the old Derek there. In white, which is the original Oilers logo. Next, JB talked about this last week. I was going to kind of touch on it a little bit as well. It's the Lids Element, well, not Lids, it's the New Era, the NFL Element Collection. Great idea for the league, for these teams to do, but it looks like some of them might have either not been finished, just they weren't executed right. I mean, Denver, a lot of people have seen Denver and don't care for it. I saw it in person, and it's actually not that bad. The stitching around the, I can't tell if it's, I guess it's the nostril of the Bronco there. It actually, you can see the blue stitching, so it doesn't look as bad as you would see it in pictures. So that's a good thing. And from the time I'd seen a couple of these beforehand, before the release, I'd gotten a little bit of a peek, behind the doors somewhere. People accidentally leaking pictures and whatnot. I kind of knew what some of them were going to look like. I guess the Texan one pretty much spot on. The Steelers one, I guessed that one exactly. Seattle, to me, theirs was a little much. I get that they kind of went around the outline, they took the outline away, but the beak, I mean, it looks more like a toucan than anything. I know, good buddy Kyle over on Twitter has said that, but yeah, it's the first thing that's, looked like I should be getting a box of Fruit Loops when I buy it. But anyways, my pick, of course, is, got the full Texan logo on the back there. And this hat's kind of making me laugh because it perfectly sums up the Texan season. I love this hat. I love the team. Both just have something missing. Of course, this one, I don't mind what's missing. The team, I do. But, yeah, I mean, this one, of course, you took away the outline around the red, took that stripe out, and then the outline from the navy, the deep steel blue. But this one, to me, was one of the better ones. I might be a little more biased just because it is my team and I knew I was going to buy it. It does have the red flag on the side, which I thought was pretty cool. Of course, black sweatband with regular tags. As you can see, hasn't been worn yet. It's got all its stickers still on it, but that was the last pickup. Well, actually, these next two were pickups, recent pickups, but I wanted to go ahead and save them for last because they tie into tonight's theme. As you've seen with some of my hats and jerseys, I don't just collect my teams. I collect pretty much every team in league. I'm one away from finishing the NFL. I've got the full into the MLB. NHL is going to be a lot more tougher now, just because Gord, you were saying earlier, you wish they would make more NHL fitteds. That's actually on New Era. New Era decided they didn't want the contract. They didn't want to have to deal with Adidas. From what I hear, they're not fun to work with. That's why until the NBA went to Nike jerseys, New Era didn't have that contract. Mitchell & Ness, Reebok, well, not even Reebok, it was Mitchell & Ness and Adidas just had their hats because they're so stingy with their logos. Adidas is. So that's why you're not going to see any NHL fitteds. So the ones you find now, grab. I mean, that's kind of the best thing to do. Go ahead and grab those now, just because they're going to go away. Yeah, Adidas has been known to make a few people mad, myself included, with this entire deal. So anyways, to the last of the new pickups. It is a pair from a team that I don't really care for. However, their logos, iconic. It's one of the original 6. By now you can pretty much guess, just because a lot of people don't care for them. It is the Chicago Blackhawks. First one, got a lot going on. This is a design you'd normally see on a snapback, which I thought was pretty cool, that it would be on a fitted. It's got that big Blackhawks wording on the back, Chicago underneath. Of course, you got the Blackhawk head there. And of course, it's kind of sublimated into the back there. The other cool thing about this one, it just does use the secondary C logo on the back. I always love that one. It's just a simple logo that, you know, you can still tell what team it is, but especially by colors. The other one thought was pretty cool that I did end up getting a vintage hockey one. Again, it has that old school logo. Of course, you can tell it's got the old school colors. It is that vintage hockey, and it has the old Blackhawks logo. Usually reserved nowadays for any outdoor game, which of course Chicago seems to play in about 17 of a year. It does have that red New Era flag, which is the opposite of the red with the black. This one is a bit tight, but nothing a hat jack can't fix. The reason it's tight, though, I'm perfectly okay with, is because it is one of the old Made in USA wools. Yeah, the red one, it does kind of remind me a lot of old 90s style hats, but like I said, it also reminds me of a lot of the snapbacks these days. Just because there's a lot going on. Typically, fitteds are reserved, you know, a lot more conservative than the snapbacks, but the snapbacks, to me, like I said, I like the designs. I just can't do it with a fit. They don't fit right. But yeah, like I said, Blackhawks, not my favorite team, but I couldn't pass these up. I mean, it was a good deal. Got me one step closer to that NHL collection as well. The next two are actually non-NHL. They're actually non-team, but they tie into tonight's show perfectly. I mean, this is hockey that we're talking about. Oh man, that one's got some loose stitching. Didn't even notice that. That's alright. That's not his fault. The next two, yeah, see, you see that one and you think it's a snap, and you have to think it's a snap just because of that design. The next one, done by our good buddy, the Commish. I don't know the full story. I'm sorry, I'm not a Leafs fan. I'm not from Canada, but the hat itself was awesome. I had to get it, so I'm gonna start looking more and more into the story behind this one. I did see that it's about a former Leafs player who apparently went missing on a fishing trip back in the early 50s. This is a song by the Tragically Hip. Again, not from Canada, so I'm not really familiar with them. But it is the 50 mission cap, which, James, you did an absolutely incredible job on this one. It's got the fishing trip banner on the back there. And of course it is the black sweatband. Got that royal blue underbill as well. The gold, the like pewter, it's kind of a pewter gold mix that you use for the squatchy and everything. And then the two-tone flag. I mean, these are just great details on this one. The next one, my boy Leon knows how to catch the eye of someone with Polish heritage. What could be better than a sausage playing hockey? I mean, again, details with the gloves, the stick, the mustache, all of it. I mean, throwing the orange flag on there to really highlight the accent colors on the front there. This one was an absolute must-have. Again, black sweatband, green underbill, which is pretty cool. And, you know, makes it have that vintage feel. But again, Shout out to my boy Leon for this one. Next few are actually not fitted, but I had to pull them out. I mean, these are... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and save these for last. Just note there's a couple of non-fitteds coming up. Alright, so the rest of these are pretty much just kind of a sporadic mix of NHL teams. I will show off a few jerseys. However, I don't have... It's funny that the first two jerseys on my stand over here, I don't actually have a hat for yet. And I'll explain that in a little while. First one here is actually the first... It's one of the first two NHL fitteds that I bought. Again, this was a Ross pickup. That's why it's got a little bit of a crease on the bill here. But again, nothing that can't be fixed. This one I've had for a while. It's one of my favorite teams to watch late at night, especially for playoff hockey. It's the San Jose Sharks. Got that tricolor. Love the teal. Of course, they came to be in the '90s, so that teal bill is something different. Or actually, it's not really that different because all the '90s teams either used purple or teal, and I think the Sharks did a really good job of this one. And JB, if you're watching, they did a really good job with one of their trades this offseason. Anybody who's kept up with hockey and some of our shows knows JB's a Sens fan. Trading away Erik Karlsson, hasn't settled with him yet. Don't know if it will. What's going on, Twin? But yeah, San Jose. Another thing that too I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about is some of these teams have released third jerseys for this year, which for some reason Adidas didn't want to do last year. I guess it was too much on their plate, except for, of course, the outdoor games. But San Jose has come out with one. They've gone back and done a black jersey with some teal accents. So actually, I mean, it would be a perfect match with this hat here. But it's especially got just the solid teal NHL logo, which is kind of what they've done with their stripes and their fin logo on the shoulders for their new jerseys. This one here is awesome. I have seen the same style in a snapback that said San Jose real big across the back. Kind of glad this one doesn't have it because that would just be a little too much for such a simple classic fitted. Next, let's see, who do I want to go with next? I'll save them for last, I think. Well, actually, let's go, since I went ahead and showed the Sharks, which of course was 2016 finals opponent for the Pens. Let's go ahead and show the 2017, which of course was the Nashville Predators. This one needs quite a bit of work. It was a cheap eBay pickup, a little bit of a flimsy bill here. Of course, that's probably not going to go back to what it was, but a little sun damage that I can always get out. The yellow and white NHL logo there. But yeah, I mean, this one, again, I want to say, no, this is Chinese wool, but of course the Chinese wool doesn't always fit that bad. Again, it's going to take a little work to get this one back in shape. Didn't know it was like this when I purchased it, but I still like it regardless because the color scheme is one that you don't see a lot of, that blue and gold together. That was probably one of my, as much as I loved watching the Pens win that year, I didn't really care for the jersey matchup, especially when in Nashville. It was a lot of yellow. You had the Nashville with the solid gold jerseys, and of course the Penguins with the white and gold, and just so much gold and yellow between the posts on the ice and all of that. It was just a lot of gold. But either way, still came out with the win, so I'm happy about that one. Next, let's see here. Next was actually another eBay pickup that is USA wool. It's an old blue box tags, which I know Swartzy loves, his blue boxes. And it's another one of the original 6, the Montreal Canadiens. It's got that blue. It's again, it's a little sun faded, but I mean, I think I picked this one up for like $1 plus like $3 shipping. So I mean, I couldn't pass that up. But again, you got that old, of course, the classic Montreal logo On the front and on the back, same logo. It is USA wool. Again, it does fit a little tight, but again, the sorry, Gore, you're not gonna see one tonight. I will be grabbing one because I do love their logo between the Avs and the Nordiques. I mean, that's probably one of the best logo comment. Marlon, should have been here a little earlier, man. I just bought 2 of them. I'll bring them back out for you. Got both of these here. The little bit extra going on, and of course the classic black. There you go, man. Just for you. But yeah, back to this one, the Habs. It's got that blue classic logo, white on the side there. Again, tight, but the hat jack will take care of that. Since we're going classic here, and I've shown off a couple original 6, why don't we go with one of the ones that's probably one of the most iconic logos, teams. Again, original 6 team. And of course, growing up in the 90s, I saw them win, was it 4 cups in 11 years? Of course, I'm talking about the Red Wings. Such a cool logo. I mean, you got the wheel with the wing coming off the back. Of course, you got the white New Era flag, the white NHL logo. It is Chinese wool, but I couldn't pass this one up. Again, it's a $5 pickup, and for it to come in this good a shape, I cannot complain about that at all. Of course, it helps to grow the NHL collection as well. The next one, actually pretty much, let's see, where do I want to go next? Let's go to this one here. Living here in Texas, we don't get a chance to wear, I mean, you can tell, I've got my sleeves rolled up. I can't wear hockey jerseys here very often. It will be in the 60s tomorrow, so that's like freezing for us, so please pray for everybody in Midland here, because nobody's going to know what to do with that weather. But this one here is wool, like, it's got that Melton wool. It says acrylic and wool. It's made in the U.S., which is actually a pretty good thing. Another iconic logo is the Buffalo Sabres. Simple gray, white, blue. I mean, it goes with a lot. It helps me get that collection. This one's actually cool because it does have the vintage hockey logo on it. It's got that blue New Era flag, again black. And then the cool thing here is the wool carries over to the bottom. Again, this is going to be a very rare occasion that I'll get to wear this one because of the wool, but it does help. And yeah, the logo, more than this one, I mean, the logo on this one, it beats the Buffa Slug that they had a couple years ago, and it even beats the 99, well, the 99 era. I'm not sure how long they used that one. I just always associate it with 99 because of the stars and sabers, the black and red. I do like that one a lot better than I do the Buffa Slug, but this one definitely is iconic, and it's a good thing they've gone back to it, even if they haven't gone back to the royal blue yet. Next, let's go back to Canada. Again, I said it earlier with the low crown and diamond era. Typically not something I go for, but I had to grab this one because the logo's always been one of my favorites. I did cheer for them in 2004, even though they did not. Yeah, the Buffalo Head. I mean, I'm not sure exactly the years on that one, but yeah, that Buffalo Head was actually, I like that one, but again, the one they use now and in the old days is it's a classic logo that probably should have never been changed. I did root for this team in 2004 during the finals, just because I like their logo. I mean, I was a young kid at the time, so this is definitely one that I had to pick up, and it does have, if you can tell by the sheen that's coming off of it, it's got that little plastic type logo, that like Chromaflex almost logo, but to have the C and the flames coming off of it, I mean, to have your entire team name in one letter, I think that's a pretty cool, idea, especially the fact that they use something to this nature for their captain's patches, as well as using the old Atlanta Flames logo for their assistant captain's patches. Does have the black, just regular stitched black and red there, and the black New Era flag. It is a low profile. See, I mean, most of these do kind of fit a little more like a stretch fit. They do kind of lay down a lot more. I know some people are looking when they say that, oh, I don't like flat bills. Well, they can be curved, and you can always find these low profiles that still fit perfectly for you, even if you don't like the normal fit of a fitted hat. Next, let's go to one of my, well, let's go back over to the Eastern Conference. Again, another Ross pickup. I mean, you got to keep your eyes out, guys. It's something like that, but it's actually, like, it's not. A couple years ago, I know the NFL did it for their draft hats. That liquid metal, that's more of a rubber. This is actually kind of a plastic. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's really more of a plastic type logo, which is still cool because if you notice on the outside, it's actually stitched on. So it's like it's raised in the middle, but it's actually stitched around the edges, which it should stay that way. Instead of most of those rubber ones, you never know what's going to happen. The next one is the New Jersey Devils. Another team growing up, of course, in the 90s, they won quite a few titles. What was it, 95, 2000, and 2003. Of course, 2000 they beat the Stars. 95 and 2003. Memory's not serving me very well on those. I think 2003 was the Ducks. Somebody remind me who they beat in 95. But the reason I bring that up is because that's actually what this hat is. It's their banner patch hat. It's got that Stanley Cup champions 95, 2000, 2003 on the side. The other cool thing does have the sublimated, or not sublimated, but the like hidden New Era logo with the black stitching. And the cool thing about this one, it didn't duplicate logo, didn't go NHL, just Devils. I mean, that to me is it's got the black outlining. I'm not sure if you can see that. Just have the black outline around there. Yeah, it's cool because I'm actually a Manchester United fan, so I could actually rock this one with any of my United stuff. Red Devils, same color scheme. I mean, looks almost identical. Well, not identical, but my Manchester United hat, it's black with a red devil on the front. I could intermix both of them with each other's gear, but yeah, thought this one was pretty cool. Again, like I said, it's another Ross pickup. Of course, that NJ mix with the horns and the tail, and of course the Stanley Cup banner patch on the side there. Let's go to a defunct team, which has arguably one of the most classic, iconic logos in all of sports, and one of the most well done logos in all of sports. For those of you unfamiliar with them, it is the Hartford Whalers. You can see so many details put into this logo. The classic green, again, this was a cheap pickup for me. But I was able to grab it. I knew I had to get it at the price it was. One of the most iconic logos, and if in case you're like me, for a while I didn't understand the intricacies of this logo. Hartford Whalers, the H in the middle, the W on the bottom, and the whale tail. So you got the Hartford Whalers and part of what could be a mascot logo type situation. That's probably one of the best thought out design logos from any league. It's one of the cooler ones too because it's got the green under, which would have been the green and blue. I mean, playing in a mall did not help them, which is obvious. That's why Hartford probably won't get anybody back or a team back. It does have the blue squatchy on top, the white logo. Has an older NHL logo with the stars on top. I know JB can tell me more about that one. Has the vintage hockey tag. Does have the white sweatband, which I'm not a big fan of, but does have the white taping on the inside, which I thought was pretty cool because it kind of matches that white sweatband and doesn't really change the whole look of the inside of the hat. Alright. Gonna jump to two more NHL, and then I'm gonna start going through little jersey and hat combos for you guys here. Um, let's go with this one next. This next one, it's not in team colors. However, it's a pretty cool hat. Again, I've bought a lot of my NHL hats for cheap, so that's one reason the NHL collection has grown so much. But it's another team that was beaten on the way to a Stanley Cup for the Penguins, and it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. Such a simple logo. Again, like I said, I was rooting against them in 2004. Of course, this was your 2004 Stanley Cup matchup. You got the white lightning bolt with the circle and the white Tampa Bay. It does have a black flag, a solid black NHL logo, the black under with the black sweatband and taping, which I thought was really interesting. I'm not sure what line this came from, but I knew I had to have it, especially at the price I found it at. So here is Tampa Bay Lightning. This next one, actually, let's get out of the NHL for a minute. Going back to Hat Club producing that Oilers hat, something that a lot of people probably never thought they'd see. They've done a few WHL hats recently. I picked up one of their mystery boxes for the 4th of July, and this one came in it, along with a few other really cool exclusives. This one here is the Spokane Chiefs. Again, the artistry behind the logo, if you can't tell, it does have the full S, but it does have the C kind of separated, and then has the feathers showing you that it's a Chiefs type hat, which I thought was pretty cool. No WHL logo, which I thought was pretty interesting. And of course, the mono flag, green under. I was looking at this one for a while, and I was really glad this one came in my box. Glad that I was able to pick this one up. Oops. Alright, last one before we get to some jersey matching and such. MILB logo, Batterman logo. I want to talk to Hat Club about that one. No, unless you're talking about a Spokane Indians, because the Spokane Indians are the minor league baseball team there. This is the Spokane Chiefs, which is actually a WHL team. So, send me that one over on the group or in a message or something, Marlon. Next one, it's pretty iconic for many reasons. From ECAP City. Maybe they got confused then. Maybe they didn't know what team it was. Send me a picture of that one. But this one, growing up in the 90s, of course, you get 3 movies about this team. One before they even existed. Of course, I'm talking about the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Eggplant and Jade. Again, 90s, you have some sort of purple, some sort of teal. But, of course, they went with the different shades, so it was the eggplant for the purple and the jade for the teal color they used. Of course, the iconic Wild Wing mask with the cross sticks. Another reason that I kind of like the way this one looks is because you got of course, I'm a Penguins fan, so I've got the triangle in the background, the triangle in the background there as well. Just have the teal flag, the teal and white NHL logo, but this one was actually a Hat Club custom a few years ago. They came out in lids, but these were done in the U.S. That's thanks to my boy Brett for telling me this one. It was the 20th anniversary, which kind of throws this hat off only because of the orange, but I'm glad that they were able to redo some of these. And they were another team that just released, well, they didn't just release, they released it a while back. It's a little bit of a play on their throwback jerseys for their, I think they're called the Heritage Series. I think that's the way that they've been labeling it this year. It's the Heritage Series. So they've of course, gone with Wild Wing. Yeah, that would be really cool. Again, Hat Club had some stuff lined up for us. They've told us this. Hat Club was ready to kill all of our wallets with a ton of NHL hats, and New Era decided to cancel that order before last season started because of Adidas taking over. That was definitely something sad to hear. Um, but yeah, just a hat with just Wild Wing on it would be awesome. Okay, so let's get to a couple jerseys. I have a few more hats to show you guys, but they're gonna kind of all match up with some of the later jerseys. Yeah, trust me, that's exactly how I felt. So this next one, like I said, the first two jerseys in here, they don't have a hat to match yet. It is currently the only NHL team in my home state. I've really only cheered for them back in '99 and 2000, just when I was younger. '99 especially because it meant that the IHL and the NHL championships would both be in the state of Texas after the Arrows won the Turner Cup. That'll be coming up here in a little bit. But of course, I'm talking about the Dallas Stars. This was from their first rebrand of the 2000s when they kept the old darker hunter green and gold and went with the big Stars logo across the front. Of course, you got the weirdly cut stripes on there and the state of Texas shoulder patches. Thought it was pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure when or where I got this one, but I found a couple years later their AHL team affiliate, the Texas Stars. And I thought that was pretty cool that I was able to find one of these. Again, just like some of these hats I showed earlier, Ross pickup, 10-15 bucks. You couldn't beat it. I mean, and it matched the one I already had. Instead of the state, it just says Texas Stars. This was got when they did the gold stripes down the side, very similar in design to the Dallas Stars. Next up is from my original hometown of Houston, the Arrows. This one coming from their 90s days when, like I said, they won the Turner Cup in 1999. They had the green, the white, and they had a blue one. The green one, this again was my dad's growing up. Once I was big enough to wear it, I decided this one was mine. Loved the logo. Got the old Arrows logo with the bomber coming through the puck, and of course the star for the O there. And of course the sleeve patch, or the shoulders here, going all the way down. And on the Authentics, this is where their numbers, their sleeve numbers were. Kind of like these are way up high. These are actually kind of more towards the elbow area. And of course the white, blue, and gray cuff stripes there. The next one was probably worn the most by me because I did have a mini season package. Yeah, almost Whalers colors. Growing up, the green and blue would have been Arrows colors for me. Wasn't that big of a hockey fan. I've become a lot bigger hockey fan in the previous, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years or so. But like I said, the Whalers, the color scheme would have never crossed my mind that was Whalers. Always would have been Arrows to me. The next one, like I said, is worn the most by me. Is once the Arrows went to become the AHL affiliate of the Wild. You have the bomber logo again, but this time you have the Wild sleeve patches. Like I said, they were the minor affiliate, and they're almost identical to what the Wild wore at the time. Cool thing about this one was I was able to pick this one up recently to finally match with it. This is a Minnesota Wild fitted. The red I thought would complement this jersey really well. I mean, red, green, white, black, it would have all gone with it, but the red really makes the little bit of red in this jersey pop, especially the red in the mouth of the bomber. And lastly, for the Arrows, probably my favorite one, I chased after this one for a few years, it was from again, they won the Turner Cup in 1989 and then hosted the All-Star Game in 2000. The IHL All-Star Game, you can see the big star, the red, white, and blue. The cool thing about this one is the fact that under the logo it does say Turner Cup Champions. Same iconic logo, just that little extra on there. Has the screen printed All-Star Game logo from 2000 with the circles looking, or the zeros looking exactly like the O on the Arrows logo. And then the state flag with the Turner Cup in the background, date, and everything from that game. Alright, so the next few, the rest of this is all Penguins. So anybody who's a Caps fan, well, congrats to your team, but we'll be back this year. Flyers, y'all can go away. Of course, like I said, I do have the 2009 to match with the black and Vegas gold hat here. The next hat was my first Penguins hat that I had. It's not fit, it's a stretch fit, and I wore the hell out of this one. My mom and dad bought it for me with the next jersey that I'm about to show you guys. This is after the 2008 Winter Classic. Of course, the Penguins decided to bring back the baby blue from their inaugural years. So the navy and the baby blue. It's got the Penguins on the back there. Again, it's a stretch fit. Haven't worn this one in quite a while. It's kind of loose on me now just because I wore it so much. But it does match with actually the other two Penguins jerseys in my collection, which again, this was after the 2008. Now this one does have a captain's patch on it. This one's actually customized. I got this one for Christmas one year from my parents. This was my football number back in high school. Would have been a hockey number if I'd ever learned how to get on skates, which still can't do. And of course it's got that D-lock on the back. Of course you can see the 55 again as well, which at the time would have been Sergei Gonchar. So I thought that was pretty cool. He was a pretty good player. To be able to put his number on my jersey, I thought that was pretty cool. The next one here, it actually is kind of a cause and effect with this jersey and hat to the next two hats. The next hat, some of you have seen, some of you've heard this story before. The baby blue C-Dub Penguins hat. Again, it kind of matches. Of course, it's going to match here with this one, but the one I've worn it with the most was my 2011 Sidney Crosby Winter Classic jersey. Got the blue and white stripes, the old school Penguin wearing the scarf for the the outdoor game. Got the captain's patch, and of course the shadowed numbers. But between this hat and jersey and shorts combination that I would wear for the last, well, 3 JB, I'm gonna start talking about Erik Karlsson if you don't stop. But yeah, that jersey and this hat, wore those for 2 consecutive playoffs, which, as a fan, I've always been superstitious, but it looks like my superstitions did get me these, so I was really happy to be able to buy these, 2016 and 2017. Wish one of these would have been able to do it on home ice, but thought it was really cool that they used the Pittsburgh gold instead of Vegas gold on the 2016. Even though we raised the cup wearing white and Vegas gold, since we didn't have a white and Pittsburgh gold jersey yet in our rotation. And again in 2017, although that one was white and Pittsburgh gold. Lastly, last hat here. Well, JB, you're right. More than likely, you're probably right. But if I'm not mistaken, the Sens did have Erik Karlsson for Game 7 the following year. Beat them, so, pretty sure Chris Kunitz still lives in your nightmares. But this one here is the black and Pittsburgh gold. I bought this one a while back. Love it. Of course, it's the current colors. It's also the colors from the 91 and 92 championships. The jersey that I bought for it, however, came in a little tight. The black and Pittsburgh gold, of course you can see here, it's 58, which is Chris Letang. What? And as I don't know if anybody can hear in the background, it's my wife saying, because it's mine. Because, yes, it came in a little tight for me. So, being my wife's favorite player, this is now her jersey. So, she was very reluctant to even let me pull this one out for the video tonight. But I had to go ahead and show it off because this will be one of my next purchases, is a black in Pittsburgh gold. So that way I can have one to match my jersey, even though I do have a polo that I could wear with it. Looks like I've been on for quite a while, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Tonight's Tuesday, so tomorrow won't be JB like normal behind me. Tomorrow night, make sure you tune in for the Worst Collection Wednesday with Joe. Of course, on Thursday, you have Swartz Day Thursdays with our host, Brett Swartz. And, of course, on Fridays, should be time for the flagship to show back up. Big Dave, we're waiting for you. And then on Sundays, hopefully you'll be back to do the picks this week. Won't have to ask JB to fill in for me again. I will go over standings and whatnot on Sunday. I meant to do that tonight, but I was trying to get all the jerseys and hats a little bit ready. And like I said, still in the process of everything, getting everything set up here. Have a little bit more of elaborate setup here. Hopefully it won't be backwards too many more times. We just don't have internet yet, so I can't get two screens going so I can see your guys' comments and everything. And then, of course, on Sunday nights, we should be having Q. We're waiting for you to do another show too, boss. So go ahead and hop on, and everybody hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys like our page, like all these videos that we're doing for you guys, and we hope to see y'all again.